Welcome, foolish mortals, to another episode of the Hitchhiking Host Show. We are your hosts, Wes Troop.
And I'm Emily Liston.
And we are back from an extended spring break. We're going to have brand new episodes now every week, so don't fear if you didn't get your fix of Hitchhiking Host new episodes. We're back and we're better than ever. So if you were on any kind of social media last week, you'll know exactly where I was. I was in Disneyland, and in this episode, I'm going to give you, and tell Miss Emily herself here, my Disneyland trip report. So, first thing, well, I guess we should start with the day before, when I was in the hospital. Exactly what you want, the day before your Disney trip to be in the hospital. So, I didn't sleep great that night, and I slept about 2 hours, maybe. And I had my alarm set for 3:30 because my flight left at 5. Oh no!
And I text you.
No, I had my alarm set for 3 o'clock, and
yeah,
because I was supposed to be at the airport at 5, and literally the only person awake when I was supposed to be was Emily, texting me to have a good trip and texting me pictures and stuff.
Yeah, well, because I set my alarm for 8, and I was like, oh my god, have fun, and like loads of pictures, and then you didn't reply, and I was like, he's busy, and then I texted
my text at 3:45 saying, "Holy crap, I'm gonna miss my flight because I overslept." But luckily, I made it to the airport fine. I didn't get a shower, but what are you gonna do? I showered the day before. It's fine. So luckily, I made it to the airport fine. Had a bunch of flights. 3 different flights, but made it to LAX. I got to my hotel. As I said on here before, it wasn't going to be the Ritz. I stayed at the Travelodge Anaheim Inn, and I was actually somewhat surprised that it was as nice as it was.
The pictures look really nice.
Yeah, I love the king size bed, so that was a nice surprise. So then I literally threw my stuff down and walked right up to the Toy Story parking lot where the shuttle comes in to take you to the parks in downtown Disney, and I went down to downtown Disney, check it out a little bit, and I sent you a video, Emily, right away of the 2 different parks, how close they are to each other. You have Disneyland on your right, California Adventure on your left, and so I did a 360 video for her.
Funny. And
she's like, "Oh my god, it's so close!" Yeah, but and then downtown Disney is right in the straightway. So then I went there and ate Earl's Sandwich, one of my favorite sandwich places, of course. So and then I just checked out a couple of the shops after Earl's Sandwich, and then went back to the hotel. Before we start, I should tell you the things that were under refurbishment the time I was there: Pirates, Indiana Jones, Small World, the Finding Nemo submarines, the Gadget Go Coaster, Alice in Wonderland, the Carousel was under refurbishment till Friday, Little Mermaid, and Grizzly River Run were all under refurbishment while I was there. That being said, I still had a great time, so I can imagine, with all those rides open, how fun it would be. But it really wasn't that bad, even with all those rides closed. It wasn't. There was still a ton to do. So, first day I got up and went to Disneyland, of course, because that's what evidently everyone does on their first day there. And I was expecting it to be a ghost town. And Emily, I sent you a picture, and you're like, "What are all those people doing there?" But it was packed.
Yeah, because the park hadn't even opened yet either, and it was like, horrible.
So I lined up. They let us in about 9:30 into Disneyland, and then you can peruse the shops on Main Street, of course. Those are always open for you. And you can line up at whatever land you want to go to: Adventureland, Frontierland. There's no big to-do show with the train like at Magic Kingdom, which I like the show, but oh well. I guess it would be way too backed up, so they let people in. I lined up at Fantasyland because the first thing I wanted to do was meet Anna and Elsa and get that out of the way. And we'll talk about it. Huh?
You say get that out of the way like it's a burden.
Well, it kind of is, but
only because they're cute, not because of them.
Yeah. So then at 10 o'clock the ropes drop, and literally everyone ran right into the castle, the Sleeping Beauty castle, by the way, which we'll talk about a little later. You could go from the left to the right, and people just... It was like the stampede from The Lion King, is the best way I can describe it. up through the castle. So Anna and Elsa are to the left after Snow White and after Pinocchio. So I got in line, and then they sort of take you off and take you around the meet and greet, and they have like duct tape, different colored duct tape on the ground around the meet and greet. So if you don't get into the queue, you know you have longer than 2 hours to wait, which I found out after the fact. So where I was, they came around and said it would be about a 3-hour wait. So I literally said, I'm out, and left. Because I didn't really want to wait 3 hours on my first day to meet Anna and Elsa. And I'm sure many of you out there feel the same way. But, so then I went over, and the second thing on my list to do is Peter Pan, because that gets even more crowded than it does at Disney World. You know how crowded that gets. And it doesn't have a fast pass at Disneyland. So it really needs one. Let's put it that way. So I went there, and that had almost an hour wait already. And literally, now keep in mind, this is within the first 3 minutes the park is open. That there's a 4-hour wait now at Frozen Meet and Greet, and an hour wait at Peter Pan. After 3 minutes of the rope being dropped. So that's just how busy it was. So I thought that threw a whole fork in my plan. So I went over to Pixie Hollow, because, you know, I wanted to get a picture with Tinkerbell. Someone asked, how long is the wait at Pixie Hollow? And the guy said 2 minutes. And I'm like, that is a blessing. Compared to what I've just been through. So I'm like, I will gladly get in line. So we went into Pixie Hollow, which I really like. It's a lot better than Tinkerbell's Magical Nook in Magic Kingdom. You wanted to see Pixie Hollow, you said, Emily.
Yeah, I wanted to see it, because they were going to do it in Disney World, weren't they? Then they decided not to. They scrapped it, I guess. So, luckily, the first fairy to meet was not the man Pixie Terrence and his man purse. Man purse. Oh, you have a picture of him and his man purse.
I was really hoping it was not him. It was Rosetta, which is one I didn't mind meeting, and she was nice. She was cool. So I met Rosetta. I was also wearing my I Heart Pixies t-shirt, which they absolutely loved. She liked it, and then I went over to see Tink, and me and Tink talked for like a pretty long time. So the Tinkerbell I got was really cool, my favorite yet, and she was awesome. So then after that, I went and rode the Matterhorn. That had an hour wait, by the way, but they have a single rider's line.
You're single rider's line. Okay.
So I literally went up to the single rider's line, and I said, and they gave me a pass, and I got right on. So I skipped an hour wait in like 2 minutes.
Yes.
So that was cool. I've been on the Matterhorn before, and I like that. It's basically Space Mountain mixed with Expedition Everest, for those who haven't been on it. And yes, there is a Yeti in that ride, too.
Is it working?
It's a cardboard cutout. Well, not a cardboard cutout, but it doesn't move. It just sits there like this. And growls. So, yeah, I guess it's working.
It's doing what it's supposed to do.
I went over to Space Mountain. Finally, 9 years later, after the first time I was there, it was closed, and they were doing the refurb of changing it around. So finally, I get on Space Mountain. It was only a 20-minute wait. I think I texted you that. You're like, holy crap. I really like this version of Space Mountain. I will say I probably even like it more than the Magic Kingdom version, because it is smoother. They blast some pretty cool music when you're going up the first hill. It's like, oh! You'll hear on the video, Emily. But
Are you sure that just wasn't you doing it?
oh, I did it. I did it then. And they like show the projections on the walls are better, even if you don't see them in my video, because it's still dark, obviously. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I think I liked it more than Magic Kingdoms. That's one. So then I wanted to go on Star Tours, which had a 65-minute wait for Star Tours. Yeah, I know. Star Tours is really popular in Disneyland, and so right there, Fast Pass.
Fast passes, were they normal?
Yes, I was so glad it was a regular Fast Pass. No stupid magic band, regular paper Fast Pass. So yeah, I got my Fast Pass for that, and then Emily gave me advice to ride Splash Mountain before it would shut. So I said, let's go, before it shuts, let me go over and ride Splash Mountain.
Did it shut in the end?
Yeah.
Yes, so you wouldn't have done that.
It shut, I think, twice that day after I wrote it. And next to that is the Haunted Mansion. And the Haunted Mansion only had a 5-minute wait, so I said Splash Mountain can wait a few minutes. So I went in and did Haunted Mansion. I like the mansion better in Florida, but it's still cool. In the mansion, they don't have the new effects that they do in Disney World. So at the end, the hitchhiking ghosts don't switch your head around and stuff, but they still have the regular old school. That was kind of cool to see the old version too. And they don't have like where the steps appear on the wall or stuff like that, you know, the footprints. But it was still cool to see the original version too. So of course, I tried to take a selfie, I told Emily, in front of the Haunted Mansion to say one of the hitchhiking hosts is here, but it didn't quite work out. It was like me in a shrub, so I couldn't do it the right way, so oh well.
Oh well.
Next time, hopefully it'll be both of us next time in front of the man.
5 selfies of nothing. 2 shrubs.
Yeah, 2 shrubs. So then I headed over to Critter Country and got on Splash Mountain. That was about an hour wait. Single rider line though. For Splash Mountain.
I forgot about that. Oh my god, you're so lucky. How is Splash Mountain different?
There's a lot of differences actually. First off is the vehicle you sit in. You know, it's always.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it's literally like a regular log flume. So
yeah.
You're like, so it's like 6 to a log. Some of the scenes are different. It's older, so the animatronics aren't as good.
Yeah.
Like you can tell they're older. Like Brer Rabbit, you can see like his painted on eyes when you pass him. I'm like, But when you go down into the laughing place, I noticed something.
Yeah.
You know how Brer Bear has the beehive on his nose?
Yes.
And Brer Rabbit laughs at him.
Yeah.
You can barely see it in Disneyland. Like, I'm like, oh, there it is. Because you hear Brer Rabbit laughing and Brer Bear going, ooh, 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 you know? And I'm like, well, where is it? And then I saw it, and like the first thing I'm like, it needs better lighting. It's like the first thing, I like blurted it out. I'm like, better lighting, you need it. And every time I went, every time I wrote it, I'm like, it just bothered me that you can't see it. So I don't know if they just needed to fix it or if it's like that all the time. After Brer Fox grabs Brer Rabbit, you go through and they have, I guess they're the creatures of the burrow. This is different. It's like a mother possum and a mother rabbit singing about Brer Rabbit getting caught. Don't go to the laughing place. Blah blah blah. It's called the Briar Patch Lament or something. Mm-hmm. That's right before you see the vultures, and then you go up the hill.
Does it have the boat?
The showboat, yeah. Yep. So then after Splash, I went and ate at the Golden Horseshoe. They have a show there. I wanted to see if the show was gonna go on, then I would eat or go on a ride or something. And the mayor of the show actually called me in, and he's like, "The show's gonna start in a few minutes." I'm like, "Well, that makes up my mind." So I ate at the Golden Horseshoe, and the show there was really funny. Then I went and did some Fantasyland rides, ones that I hadn't done before. At Disneyland at least. Pinocchio, that was cool.
What was that like?
Basically like the regular Fantasyland rides at Disney World, but a Pinocchio theme. I rode Snow White, which we can't ride anymore in Disney World, of course.
Is it the same?
I like Disneyland better. Except for its abrupt end. Because they show a little more in the beginning. And the witch pops out a lot more, her and her apples. She can't take no for an answer, I guess, in Disneyland's version. And but at the very end, it's the same as Disney World, where she falls off the thing with the dwarfs, and it just when you come out, it says the end. It's like, so okay, like you don't see the prince or anything like you do in Disney World. It's just sort of like, I guess the witch died and that was it.
Like Finn.
Yeah. Exactly. I finally got on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. And I like Mr. Toad. It kind of shows its age, but it's a classic. It's like cardboard cutouts, literally, that move when the car comes. But it's still a lot of fun. And for some reason, you end up in hell at the end, which I still never get. If I had to do a book report on that ride, I would not know what to write. Because it makes no sense. But it's still fun.
Mm-hmm.
I went on Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters, which is a lot like Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Astro Blasters better, though, actually, because you can take the gun out. It's not glued down to the thing where you have to just... so you can take the gun out and just, like, shoot wherever you want. It's just better all around, I think, actually. It's a lot of the same scenes, but, like, Buzz fights Zurg at one point. And like at the end, they like have him in the crane machine, and it says "Return to Al's Toy Barn."
That's really cool. That's really cool.
The aliens and stuff. So I thought that was really neat. And they have something cool where you can email your ride picture to yourself.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So of course that was crowded, but I did it anyway. Anyway, so then finally, I got on Star Tours with the Fast Pass. Mm-hmm. And I had a good sequence. That's exactly the same Star Tours as it is at
it is in Paris as well.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same, it's just in French, yeah.
Well, they still speak English in California. So so I got I think it was the Ice Planet, the sequence, and then it was the Death Star. But I got Darth Vader and Boba Fett and Yoda, so who could ask for more, right? And then the next time I went on it, I got a new sequence. I got the Gungan World, which I was really like, oh, when I saw Jar Jar Binks, but I actually really liked it. So that was one I had never gotten before. I don't know that I had the Death Star sequence before either. So, so Star Tours both times I went on were good. Mm-hmm. It was fun. Then I told Emily this before, and she thought it was really funny. I thought I was in line for the Enchanted Tiki Room. Then I realized, why does the Enchanted Tiki Room even have a line? I just assumed it was really busy that day. And I got up closer, and I'm like, oh crap, I'm in line to buy a Dole Whip.
I loved it.
I wanted a Dole Whip anyway. I was gonna get one. I just thought I was literally in line for the Tiki Room. So I bought a Dole Whip, and then I took it into the Tiki Room with me. I got to see, and actually when you enter the Tiki Room, another side to the Dole Whip stand is in the Tiki Room. So I'm like, oh, I could have got the Dole Whip and been in at the same time, but oh well. But so that's a little West tip. If you're gonna go see the Tiki Room, get your Dole Whip while you're in line to see it, instead of waiting the long line in Adventureland. But anyway, so I finally got to see the Enchanted Tiki Garden outside of the Tiki Room, where the statues move and put on a show and stuff and talk. So I really like that, because I'm a big Tiki Room fan, as you know. And then I went into Tarzan's Treehouse.
That's awesome.
I like that better than the Swiss Family Robinson, because it's more updated, there's more stuff to it. Mm-hmm. There's a few little hidden gems in the Tarzan's Treehouse, which you'll see, Emily. I'm not going to spoil it. I got on Winnie the Pooh, and that was only about a 10-minute wait.
That's good.
Well, that is good for that. A lot of people say that has a short line because people are mad at it because it took Country Bear Jamboree's spot.
I thought it took Mr. Toad. Oh wait, no, that's Disney World.
That's Disney World, yeah. Now, at Disneyland, it replaced Country Bear Jamboree, so a lot of people are mad at it. So
why couldn't it have taken Country Bear Jamboree in Disney World?
And because it took the spot of the Country Bear Jamboree, there's a little hidden thing in there where you can see the 3 animal heads that were on the wall. They kept them there. Max, Melvin, and Buck. When you look up, all you have to do is glance up, and you can still see the bottom of their heads. So that was like the main thing why I went on Winnie the Pooh, to see the heads of those things. Oh, then after Pooh, I finally got to ride Big. Then after that ride, I got to ride Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. I had a fast pass for that as well because there was no single rider line for that. I got to see the new effects. When we watch the video, Emily, you will hear me yell because I love this, or something to that fact. I love it! I love it! It looks like, you know, it's gonna blow up type thing and an explosion and stuff like that. Obviously it's not, but it looks like it and it's awesome. The ride itself is a little shorter than Magic Kingdom, but I think I like the effects more. So if they go to Magic Kingdom, that would be really cool to see. Hopefully they do. And then I went over to Toontown, which they don't have anymore at Magic Kingdom either.
What was that?
That was neat. It was a lot better than Magic Kingdom's Toontown when they had it even. I got on Roger Rabbit's cartoon spin, which I was on that before, and that's a lot of fun. That always has a long wait, so I got a fast pass for that. I only had to wait a little bit for the fast pass for that. It wasn't bad. And then it was time for the Sound Station Parade. And that was a good parade. That was I guess it's 2 or 3 years old. The newest thing in there is Tangled, so you'll love that.
Yes, indeed.
And then for the first time ever, or should I sing that? For the first time in forever. I went on the Jungle Cruise at night. I had never ever gone on the Jungle Cruise at night, as much as I've gone on it. And unfortunately, it wasn't that good because you can't see everything. Like, the spotlights were late, or the spotlights are on the boat, I'm not sure. But I was trying to tape it with my video camera, and, like, everything was dark. And then, like, we'd pass it, and then it would show up. I'm like, what? So, I was going to go on again anyway, let's face it. But I had to go on again. I still enjoyed it. And there's new stuff on that, too. They redid the Jungle Cruise. So, it's a lot shorter than Magic Kingdom's, but they have some cool stuff. They have new animatronic monkeys that supposedly throw dynamite in the water. And piranhas that come up and attack you. So that was cool. So I went and ate dinner at the Jolly Holiday Bakery. That was really good. That's a Mary Poppins-based restaurant. While I was eating there, I saw Disney Imagineer Tony Baxter. And
Woo!
he was having an Imagineer meeting with a few different people, like 6 or 7 people. So I didn't want to interrupt and ask him for a picture or anything, but I got a secret video of me. Look, over there is Tony Baxter.
Of course you did.
Being real sneaky about it and zooming in right on his mustache. So that was day 1. I did a lot of stuff on day 1.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah. The second day, I went to California Adventure, woke up, it was really windy that morning. And I was in line, and I literally saw trash cans blow over. And you know how big the trash cans are.
Yeah, they're really heavy.
Yeah. And I saw 2 or 3 blow over. When you walk in, you see the new area, Carthy Circle. It's a lot better. I don't even remember what the last area was. It was some big sun or something. I looked it up somewhere, and they were like all these different colored Mickeys. But Carthy Circle is a lot better. You'll appreciate this. To your left, as soon as you walk into the park, is Oswald's gas station. Oswald the Lucky Rabbit.
I love Oswald so much.
Yeah, I know. And That's what I thought. That's what I said when I went in. I'm like, oh, she'd love this. There's a lot of different stores. There's Elias and Company is the big store. There's the Carthay Circle restaurant, which is fancy, but that's nice. And then you have your different lands that you can cut off to again. As soon as the rope drop, I went to World of Color Fast Pass place, which is at the Grizzly River Run, oddly enough, which is closed. So you get your Fast Pass there, and if you want to see World of Color at a good spot, definitely get your Fast Pass for that.
Mm-hmm.
West tip.
A second. West tip number 2.
Yes, there'll be a few.
Yes.
So did that, and then I knew there was a single riders line for Radiator Springs Racers, so I held off on that a little longer. I went to Toy Story Mania because I knew that didn't have a Fast Pass. Mm-hmm. I got to Toy Story Mania, and it said the line it said was 10 minutes long, and I almost fell over in shock because we know how it is at Disney World.
Was it 10 minutes?
It was more like 20, but still that's good. Yeah.
When I get a Fast Pass, it's
there is no Fast Pass. That's the thing. So that's why I wanted to make sure I got on that thing. Then I went over and went into Cars Land, and that was my favorite thing in the park, no doubt.
Yeah, I don't like the film Cars, but everything you were showing me about Cars looked amazing.
Exactly. I don't like it either. But I think I appreciated the movie a little more now that I've seen the land.
Yeah.
When you walk in,
but, you know.
Walk into Cars Land, it looks just like the movie does, the Radiator Springs. You have Mater's Junkyard Jamboree to the left, and then you have all the the different restaurants. There's Cozy Cone, Flo's V8 Cafe, and then Luigi's Flying Tires is back there. I'll explain those a little more later. And then to your right is Radiator Springs Racers, and that's the big draw. That Radiator Springs Racers, I will say, is one of the best rides. Not my favorite. It's probably up there. It's up there in my favorites. Probably the best ride I've ever been on.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I've been on a lot. So, it just the technology, the scenery, everything. The racing itself, everything is awesome. Yeah, the animatronics in that ride. Whew, they look real. They're the most convincing animatronics I've ever seen. Like the car comes up to you and starts talking to you, and I'm like, oh my god, it's a freaking real car talking, So it's really Mater, It's really awesome. So then I went from there, went over to Tower of Terror, and I said Emily right away said it wasn't as good as Disney World, but just by looking at the building.
Yeah.
It's different, the Tower of Terror. The lobby, I took pictures in the lobby, so that was fun. Got to see little things there. There's a little doll on a couch. I don't know if they had that at Disney World when I never took notice. But I made sure I zoomed in and got a picture of that for you. I got a picture of that for you.
Oh, no, because it reminds me of that ghost thing you sent me.
The ride itself, we on our Tower of Terror show, we talked about this. It's not as good because it doesn't go into the dimension. But it's still cool. And the little kid... the little kid that was in the front, I was sitting in the back, literally screamed his lungs out. I felt really bad. So parents, don't drag your kids on if they don't want to go, because it just sort of ruins the ride for everybody. But it was kind of funny at the same time.
Oh, bless his little buttons. Oh.
And then I went over to Soarin'.
Did you do it?
I did outside. I was thinking the song the entire time I was on it and was laughing to myself about it.
Okay, I'd have been too embarrassed to do it.
No, I was next to like a family and stuff, and I'm like, no way am I gonna sing that out loud.
You pussy.
Then I ate at the Taste Pilot's Grill, which is right there, for lunch. And then it was getting really hot, so it was time for the Muppets.
Wait, what did you have in the Taste Pilot's Grill?
I didn't tell you the last few things, because you didn't...
What did you have?
I had a cheeseburger, a chili cheeseburger.
Ooh, exotic.
Yeah. Then I saw the Aladdin show.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that was one of the best stage shows I've seen in a Disney park. Definitely worth checking out if you go to California Adventure. They have, things fly. I won't spoil everything for you, but you can see that very rare. Yeah. And people. So.
Genie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The genie was really funny. He says a lot of pop culture references, like literally up to the minute, and that's a good 45-minute show. Then I went and saw Luigi's Flying Tires. Only had a 10-minute wait, so I went back to Cars Land and rode that. And it's basically like bumper cars in a big tire.
Right. Okay.
And it like air blows, and the tire goes a little bit, not much off the ground, but just a little bit, and it blows you across.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and you have to lean forward, lean left, or lean right to move the tire. Yeah.
That's really cool. I really like it.
Yeah. It was fun. And then I had someone told me I had to have a red apple freeze at the Cozy Cone as a snack, so that was really good.
What's that?
It was like a slush. You guys have slushes over there?
Mhm.
Like apple kind of flavor, and it had like ice cream on the top.
Ugh.
And then I went on right after eating a slush. The next thing you want to do is going on a roller coaster with loops. Then I went on California Screamin', and
that's the one with the Ferris wheel near it, yeah.
Yes, yeah, and that's the one that people were stuck on a few days later, and they had to walk down. They had to walk down the steps from the hill, and then I went on a few hours later.
Oh.
And I scared the woman next to me. I'm like, I hope they got this thing fixed.
You know.
But
down earlier.
Yeah. I'm like, I guess I shouldn't have told you that. But anyway, so that was cool. I've been on that ride before, and I went on Mickey's Fun Wheel. That's the Ferris wheel. That was your regular Ferris wheel. They can have swinging cars or non-swinging cars, but because of the wind, they were all swinging cars. I got on King Triton's carousel, which is basically your usual carousel, but except with sea creatures. I think I rode an otter.
A sea creature?
Yeah, well.
Yes, it is. But I mean, I just pictured like seahorses and like.
Yeah, they have those too. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're called sea otters,
Oh yeah.
And then I got to see the Pixar Countdown to Fun Parade, which is a little bit different than it is in Hollywood Studios. Well, especially now because it's not even there. But so that was cool.
It actually exists in Disneyland.
Huh?
It actually exists in Disneyland.
Yes, it's still there, and it's a little different. They have a Monsters University section now that leads it off. So that's. Speaking of monsters, I got on Mike and Sully's To the Rescue, and that's basically an updated kind of dark ride, based on the Monsters Inc. movie. I really liked that. That was a lot of fun. Really good animatronics in that too. That opened, a few years back, but it's still, that was one of my favorites in California Adventure too. I had dinner at the Chinese place, the Lucky Dragon. I think that's what it's called. And that was pretty good. It was your normal Chinese food, nothing real special.
Did they have the honey sesame chicken?
No, they had different. They were called Asian bowls. It was filled with rice. You could choose like chicken, shrimp, whatever. I chose chicken. And then you could choose the sauce. Whatever you chose, you got a lot of rice more than anything. So
that's how they do it up.
And then after that, I went got my fast pass ready for World of Color. And that was a lot of that was cool. I told you it was more like World of Heads in the Way.
Yeah.
Because you have to stand to watch it. It's basically like the Phantasmic portions with the fountains, but it's all the fountains. That's all it is. And it was cool to see. It was. Mm-hmm. It was a neat closing to the day. So then I went back to the hotel, and that was that day. Day number 3. We're getting hotter now. It was like 97 degrees that day. It turned out to be, which is never that hot in California. It's not even that hot in Florida yet. So I don't know how I got the heat wave, but I did.
That's good.
Not that hot. So, first thing I did was I tried Anna and Elsa again. Got shut out again. 3.5 hours I was at this time when they told me where I was. Split. Peter Pan was still an hour long. From 2 days before, I guess. The same people were there. So I just went around and rode a few rides. And then I realized it was time for Interventions to open, where Captain America and Thor are. Mm-hmm. They're meeting. So I only waited 15 minutes for each, I'd say. Captain America was cool. If you've seen the movie, which you haven't, there's a Smithsonian exhibit that Captain America goes to visit, and it's all about him. And basically, that's what the meet and greet's based off of, except Captain America's there for you to meet at the end. And that was neat. And then Thor, it's called the Treasures of Asgard. We've talked about it on the show before. You go in to what is supposedly like a Bifrost room, and lights flash and smoke comes down and stuff like that. And you supposedly are going to a different realm of the Asgard. And the doors open, and there's Thor with his hammer standing on his throne. So that was really cool to see that. And then he picks a kid from the meet and greet to try to raise the hammer. Of course, the kid can't do it, so Thor has to help him, and then he meets everybody. It was a lot of fun. I went to eat at the Hungry Bear restaurant for lunch. But the coolest thing about the Hungry Bear is that they have a picture of the bear band from the Country Bear Jamboree. Yeah, that was my favorite part of that restaurant. But anyway, so then I finally got on Peter Pan. It was only a 25-minute wait, so I figured I'd suck it up. That was the least I've ever seen it, by the way, there. Mm-hmm. The whole time I was there. Got to go on Storybook Land Canals, and that was fun.
What is that?
You sit on a boat, and they have like little, let's say like little buildings that are supposedly like Snow White's village.
Oh yeah, you told me about this before, and I wanted to.
Alice in Wonderland's village. You go through Monstro the Whale's mouth.
Yes, this is so cool.
This is the first time I've ever gone on any of the raceways. So, Autotopia I went on, and my car literally stopped dead in its tracks when I was in the middle of nowhere, and there was no one around. And I sort of was like, crap, what am I going to do? Because I'm in the middle of the track. And luckily it started up again a minute later or so. So then I ate dinner at Tomorrowland Terrace. I did a lot of other stuff in between all this too. I just don't want to talk about it all over again. Then I got to meet up with my friends from Communicore Weekly, Jeff and George. Wednesday night, we got to ride a couple rides. We ate at well, I had an ice cream because I had already eaten at the Golden Horseshoe. And then they had their live show at the Grand Californian. I'm on there if you listen to it, if you find it on their YouTube channel. And so I got to see the Grand Californian. I agree with George. He said he likes the Wilderness Lodge better. I do too. It's basically a really swanky version of the Wilderness Lodge. It's a really nice hotel, but I don't know if I would pay that much to stay there. So I got to see what the rooms are like. They evidently sneak into their rooms, and they had cookies and milk there for them when they when they got back and stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah, I sat in the courtyard and recorded the live show, and we went to the bar then afterwards and had a couple drinks, and we did what all of us internet hosts do. We complained. So it was a lot of fun, and I'm glad I got to see Jeff and George. Because they were on an Adventures by Disney trip, and so that they were really busy. So I'm glad I got to see them, even though they were busy. You know? So then the next day, I woke up I went to California Adventure again. It was even hotter than the day before.
Jeez. Super hot, as I can see.
Yeah, I did a lot of the same things again there. I checked out the Animation Pavilion. I think it's just called that. And that's where they have Turtle Talk with Crush. They have the Animation Academy, where every half hour you can draw a different character. They teach you how to draw a character, and then you can keep your drawing. So I was there for the Olaf.
Have you still got that?
Hmm?
Have you got that?
Yeah, I have it right here in my hands.
Oh my god, I can't wait to bring it.
So they teach you how to draw the character, and they always start with Mickey Mouse and with Winnie the Pooh, and it's every half hour, and a lot of people just get right back in line because it's nice and air conditioned, and it's a lot of fun. So I did the Olaf one, and he may look more like Olaf's evil twin, but
Wait, bring it closer. What? Wait.
What? I'm not a professional artist.
It's a worm. It looks like a worm.
That's the last time I show you my drawings.
Well done. I'm very proud of you.
I may or may not have drawn more. So.
You have to show.
Well, I may send one.
Oh my god! Oh my god, I'm so excited. Okay.
And then I actually went back to the hotel to rest for an hour because it was so hot.
I can't believe you did that.
I have never ever done that in my life. That's how hot it was, and really I had finished California Adventure.
Yeah.
Everything else, there were a few things I had to do yet, but I knew I would get them on the way back. So then when I came back, it cooled down a little bit. I was only gone an hour or so. Mater's Junkyard Jamboree only had a 10-minute wait, so that was great because that usually had an hour-long wait, and I actually liked that a lot more than I thought I would. It's like the whip, but it whipped me around pretty good actually, and you have the soothing sounds of Larry the Cable Guy. And then I got on Goofy's Sky School, which is basically just a wild mouse, so there's nothing real special about that. Then I finally got to see Cars Land at night, and it's really cool at night because it's all lit up. Neon lights. So I got to ride Radiator Springs, which is a whole different thing. You want to ride it, make sure you ride it in another West tip, make sure you ride Radiator Springs in the morning or during the day and at night as well.
That was West tip number 3.
We actually got stuck where Mater comes out the first time, and the lights actually came on. So I got to see what it looked like inside with the lights on. The rest of the ride was fine. After that, we were about 10 minutes. Because we got stuck, they asked us if we wanted to go again. So we said, of course. So I got on it twice in a row. That's
so cool.
And we lost both times, by the way. So that kind of sucked. But it was cool that we got to go again. So then after that I went down to Downtown Disney and got dinner at Ralph Brennan's Jazz Kitchen Express and brought that back to the hotel with me. And that was that day. And finally, the last day. This was my get Anna and Elsa meet and greet or nothing. I went in guns blazing. I told Emily I'm gonna run this time, like we're not supposed to. But everyone else runs, so who cares? It was super hot. It was packed. It wasn't as bad in the morning though, because it opened at 9 instead of 10. It opened at 10 every other morning. This time it opened at 9. Shout out, by the way, to the family I was standing next to that I had a really nice conversation with. They had a daughter who's an art major, and she was doing a rough sketch of the Astro Orbiter over in Tomorrowland while she was sitting there waiting, and it was incredible. She did it in like 5 minutes, and it looked like a piece of art you would hang up in a gallery. But so that was awesome, and they're like, let Wes ahead of us because he has to get to Anna and Elsa. So definitely a shout out to them, and I know they're going to be watching our show, so thanks for watching. Both other times I was on the left-hand side. This time I went on the right-hand side to get to the castle, because I think they do have a little bit of an advantage. I think it might be up further. So this time I went faster than I normally did, and I got in the queue, which meant I at least had less than 2 hours. As long as I got in the queue, I was good, basically. Got in there. I waited about 20 minutes, which was, and then, you know.
Amazing.
Yeah, definitely. That was the day when the ride attendant, or the person in charge of the meet and greet, said it was about a 5-hour wait for Anna and Elsa. So, whew. So I got in. The meet and greet itself is neat. Oh, I forgot to tell you, they have Olaf on top of the building.
That's cool.
And he says different stuff to keep you entertained and stuff like that, because God knows you need it.
Probably repeats though after like 10 sentences.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the people that were there for 5 hours know every single thing it said.
Yeah.
But you get in and they have, like, you know, it's the royal reception, so they have fake cupcakes, I assume, and treats and stuff like that lined up on the counter. And then you go in, you see Anna and Elsa, you talk to them a little bit, take your pictures, and that was pretty much it. But they were cool. I liked Anna and Elsa.
They called you cute. Ah.
Yeah, well, you know, that's how I roll. Now I've done it, and I said I've survived the Anna and Elsa madness.
Yes.
And I didn't tell you I got in, and I just sent you a picture.
Yeah, I know. I was just like looking at my phone, and I was like, oh, where's texting? I was like, oh my god.
So then after that, I got on the carousel, which was closed. It was closed from Monday to Friday. It opened, and I was there Monday and Wednesday in Disneyland, and I did not see them lift one finger on that carousel. So I don't know if they just didn't put someone to operate it for a week, and that was the refurbishment, or what. But maybe it was while I was gone, or at night or something. But
yeah, maybe at night.
I was hoping that I wouldn't fall off my horse. But I didn't, and it went well.
I was hoping you would. Accident emergency.
And then I got on the Casey Jr. train, which goes around the same. It covers basically the same area the Storybook Land canals cover, but it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's different. I went to Downtown Disney again and ate at Earl sandwich for lunch. And then I rode back on the monorail it takes you back to Tomorrowland from Downtown Disney. And then I rode the railroad and got to see the Primeval World. Then I saw Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, which is basically like the Hall of President figure, but only Mr. Lincoln. And they do like a background of his life. And
mm-hmm. Was that interesting? Because I know that you find the president things kind of boring.
Yeah, it was okay. I don't know that I would do it more than once a trip. But what was interesting though is they had models and stuff of Disneyland, the original models and whatnot in the waiting room, and they had the bench that Walt sat in when he thought of the idea of Disneyland. And they also had a model of the Country Bear Jamboree, which I didn't get over to, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I didn't get over to it because they shushed me into the room. I'm like, I gotta get it! And then the section was closed off when I went back.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. I know you love it.
There was a problem or something at the end of the show, so they closed it.
Because they were like,
Abraham Lincoln needed to go vampire slaying afterwards or something, so.
No, it was me. I rang them and I was like, don't let him get a picture.
Yeah. So, and funny enough, Emily, they play a few parts from the American Adventure Show.
Oh, really?
They play the brothers in the Civil War.
I love that bit.
And at the very end, they do America spread your golden wings. I was singing along with it, and then it just cut. I was laughing thinking of you when I heard that song. I'm like,
It makes me cry.
Yeah. So that was cool. Ate dinner at Red Rocket's Pizza Port. I did a lot of other stuff too, obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah. I got and then it was time for Fantasmic.
Mhm.
And without spoiling it, because Emily has to watch my videos yet, I enjoyed it more than I did in Hollywood Studios.
See, I wonder about that because it's one of my favourite things in all of Disney. I can't help but tears come to my eyes.
I actually almost cried at the end this time.
You.
You stand around. It's different because you stand around Tom Sawyer Island, so you have to get there early. You have to get there early anyway, no matter what Fantasmic you see.
Mm-hmm.
I had a really good spot actually, and let's just say instead of the Pocahontas scene at Hollywood Studios, there is a scene that is 1,000,000 times better, and that's why I like this better. Yeah, I enjoyed the Disneyland version better, and then I got to see the fireworks over Sleeping Beauty's castle, and I enjoyed that more too because there's more Tinkerbell than just going once and done. And there's also something else that happens that I almost fell over when I saw it. I almost passed out from exhaustion. And I rode Haunted Mansion one last time, and Splash Mountain one last time as my grand finale. And then I went and had to buy some souvenirs, and then that was it. I went back to the hotel and had to get up in the morning for an early flight.
Sad times.
I really enjoyed myself. There was still, it was a great time, even with all those closures and stuff. It was still a lot of fun. So I can imagine what it would be. I got to go on a lot of those rides before, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But it was still a lot of fun.
Well, good. I'm glad you had fun after all the stressing before.
Yes, Emily knows. We talked every day about this pretty much, and I was a little stressed out about it.
Hello. I'm going to miss my flight. I'm not going to find the right flight. Everything is closed.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. But would I go back? In a heartbeat to Disneyland.
Exactly. I told you not to stress.
So that was my trip. Now I guess we can do the news.
While Wes was in Disneyland, a lot was going on in Walt Disney World. A special dedication ceremony for the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train coaster took place in New Fantasyland, where it was announced the attraction will be open on May 28th. For those wondering, you can now fast pass the mine train on May 28th and beyond.
Yeah, you excited for the mine train?
I'm very excited for it.
So am I. Neither one of us are going to get on it anytime soon. But we're going to do some sort of special event here on the Hitchhiking Host Show.
Yeah.
We're not exactly sure what we're going to do, but we're going to do it. And we're going to have a special show for the mine train opening. So look out for that soon.
Soon. Big news for Animal Kingdom. We've reported before about a nighttime spectacular making its way to the park, and we now know the title of it is called Rivers of Light. The show will contain water scenes, live music, floating lanterns, and animal imagery. You will be able to see Rivers of Light on Discovery River between Discovery Island and Expedition Everest. Stay tuned for more updates.
Yes, and we will have more updates. It's cool. It'll give the Animal Kingdom fans something at night, and people will stay longer in the day then. We talked about that on here before.
We did indeed.
Speaking of Animal Kingdom, there's even more. Also, the Festival of the Lion King show will resume performances in its new location in the Africa section in June at the new Harambe Theater. In addition, a special celebration called Harambe Nights, maybe is that like Arabian Nights? Harambe Nights, like Harambe Days. Will feature appetizers, wine, and beer, as well as a new exciting show, The Lion King Concert in the Wild, which will feature live dancers, orchestra, choir, along with movie projections, and hosted by guest narrators that range from Viola Davis to David Alan Grier. Afterwards, an African-style buffet is included. Harambe Nights will take place every Saturday from June 7th to August 9th and will cost $119 for adults, and kids ages 3 to 9 cost $79. If you're interested, book your reservations now.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if I would pay $119 for that. It better be a darn good show, and it better be some darn good food. But
well, you've got a 3-year-old child. Why do they need an £80
dinner
and show? They're gonna.
Anyway, but anyway, if you're interested, you can book it. And also at Animal Kingdom, a new animal experience called Winged Encounters, The Kingdom Takes Flight, will debut at Disney's Animal Kingdom starting this summer. The show will take place in the Discovery Island section of the park and will feature 6 types of macaws. Keep a lookout for the birds now, though, as they're taking a few short flights to prepare for the new attraction. So that might be cool. They already have their Flights of Wonder show. These are the same people that did that. It'll be something for Discovery Island. Discovery Island doesn't have a whole lot going on.
Yeah.
Just little things here and there. You know, your favorite thing, It's Tough to Be a Bug, is there.
Yeah.
And, all that goodness. So, it'll be cool, I'm sure.
Yeah.
A lot of new stuff going on at Animal Kingdom, so that's good to see.
They're trying to build it up. Free dining is here again at Walt Disney World. When guests purchase a non-discounted 6-day, 7-night Magic Your Way package and stay, they will receive a free dining plan. You must book your trip by the 8th of August to qualify, and the eligible dates are the 31st of August to the 3rd of October 2014, the 26th of October to the 1st of November 2014, the 9th of November to the 20th of November 2014, and the 12th of December to the 23rd of December 2014.
What year were those again?
I don't remember.
So,
2012.
Oh, okay. We're reporting 2-year-old news.
4012, I said.
Oh!
Live on the air.
So, certain resorts have the free dining plan, so definitely check out which ones do. It gets very crowded when the free dining comes, so be prepared for that. Just West tip number 4. Full of tips today, yikes. But yeah, just be aware it does get very crowded when there's free dining involved. But it's definitely worth it. So it's good and bad at the same time. While we were on break, we hit over 500 followers on Twitter. So we'd like to thank our Twitter followers, new and old. All the you hitchers out there, thanks for sticking around. Well, that does it for another show. Emily, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you on the interwebs?
You can follow me on Twitter. It's at EL5AME.
You can follow me on Twitter at WesAList. You can follow our show's Twitter at HitchHostShow. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/HitchHostShow. And of course, subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/HitchHostShow. Until next time, don't forget to
hurry back
for the next episode.
See you next week.